What is going on, everyone? Anthony Drew Gary here, host of the How To Show, where we talk about optimizing life, money, and happiness one how to at a time. And this is my last long form video of the year 2023. I hope everybody had an awesome Christmas and holiday season and is looking forward to the new year and how you can just make life better in the new year. And a lot of the way that I do that throughout the year is by consuming a lot of content. I have an addiction to consuming media and content in the self-improvement space. And what I do is I dive into that stuff and keep a notepad open on my phone. And anytime something strikes me as noteworthy or important, I jot it down. And I take all of the best things over the year and I distill it into one video like this for you so that you can hear the best of the content makers in the personal and self-development space at one time in a short form of quick hitters, one-liners, things of that nature. And so this week, you really don't have to watch me on the screen. You can just listen to this one because I'm going to rattle through all of the best things that I've got from the screen over here that I've taken notes on over this past year. Before I get started on that, want to give a quick shout out to my buddies over at Circle City Success. Drew, Matt, and Jason are bringing the who's who of Indianapolis to you each and every week. Check them out on the podcast player of your choice. And so without further ado, going to get into this list. And I want to give a disclaimer that you may not agree with everything that you hear, but that's okay. Just take that one and skip over it and keep getting benefit from the different things that are in this list. And so without further ado, let's adjust myself a little bit. You don't actually have to watch this one talk about that. All the credit, here we go. All the credit is to the folks who originally said these things. I have not written any of this. I'm just borrowing their different thoughts. And that's what a lot of self-help in the world is just taking the best practices of others and getting feedback from it. And so we'll continue on with this. You cannot wish for both strong character and an easy life. The price of each is the other. The road to success is rarely paved in convenience. I've never met a hater whose life I wanted. No matter how much money you have, you're not wealthy if you have a calendar of unwanted obligations. If no one could see the results of what I'm doing, would I still choose to do that? No business before it starts makes sense. Otherwise, it would already exist. If you're looking for an excuse, you'll always find one. If you're looking for an opportunity, you'll always find one. The past wasn't as good as you remember, the present isn't as bad as you think, and the future will be better than you anticipate. Embrace uncertainty. Some of the most beautiful chapters in your life won't have a title until much later. If your urge is to take care of your family, the worst thing you can do is buy a house that you can't afford. God feeds the birds, but he doesn't throw the worms into their nests. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. Fall in love with the process of becoming great. A Bible that's falling apart usually belongs to a person who isn't. Look at your inner circle. If you don't get motivated, you have a cage. Invest in your opportunities, not your troubles. This next one is not a one-liner, it's a multi-liner, but it is one of the best things I've heard Scott Galloway ever say in his life, so I want to give specific credit on this one. If we want better men, we need to be better men, and we need to get involved in the lives of young men. If you try to reverse engineer where young men come off the tracks and end up alone, angry, addicted, incarcerated, suicidal, to one point, it's the absence of a male role model. Get involved in the life of a young man. You don't have to be some icon. You just have to be a dignified person that's living a virtuous life who listens and convinces that young man that he matters and that his life has meaning. That hit me like a ton of bricks. I can remember I was getting an oil change for my wife. When I listened to that, I can tell you exactly where I was sitting. So we'll keep going on these. This is still fun. Hopefully you're still with me because I'm really enjoying doing this episode. Anything worth doing is worth overdoing. That was one of Brandon Turner's guests. Don't be afraid of looking stupid. be afraid of never trying. There's a lot of grown men and women that are still boys and girls because they think someone else is coming to change their life. Christianity isn't about going from average to a little bit better. It's about going from dead to alive. That one was Tim Tebow. The magic you are looking for is in the work you're avoiding. No matter how bad things get, I remind myself that I could be trapped in a pyramid scheme convinced I'm a business owner. Sorry, had to throw that one in. A pat on the back is 2 feet higher than a kick in the ass. It's okay to be ignorant. It's not okay to stay ignorant. Don't interrupt your opponent while they're making a mistake. All progress starts by telling the truth. Who you are in the present moment is as fleeting as the present moment. The smarter I get, the more I value my time. Figure out what you want and then figure out how to get it. And the second part is really finding someone else who has already done that and doing what they did. Again, best practices. Talked about that in the beginning of the episode. Getting elected and governing well are not the same skill. Every question you Google is the chance to start a business. Are you betting on the horse or betting on the jockey? Double your confidence, double your freedom. If you're willing to ask, life can give you what you want. I'm addicted to my own expansion as a man. Your life is the sum of your experiences. If I had what my kids have, then I wouldn't have what I have. Competition happens at the bottom. People at the top are collaborating. Most people would die for their family. Would you be willing to be healthy for them? Don't measure your progress with someone else's ruler. Apple didn't make an iPod ad that said 3 gigs of storage. They made an ad that said 1,000 songs in your pocket. Benefits over features, always. Success is about me. Significance is about others. If you want to impress people, talk about your success. If you want to impact people, talk about your failures and experiences. Oh, this one hits. So much of our lives are driven by the soul-sucking voice of reasonableness. You must have a purpose that's bigger than making money. Average wage growth in the United States over the past 5 years is approximately 2%, and the average negotiated pay increase is over 10%. The hardest financial skill is getting the goalposts to stop moving. When I remember Jesus is walking in with me, I remember I belong in the room. Well, we'll get off of that one to a little bit of a lower standard. You cannot ride 2 horses with 1 ass. This one's fun. This one came from Kofi Coburn, former Illinois basketball player. Trees don't hang around with grass, even though they started at the same place. I'd rather hear your story than your sales pitch. You can get a lot of free time back by simply not having an opinion on everything. You can't be stressed and thankful at the same time. One stream of income is too close to none. Anything you cannot fast from, you are a slave to. Oh, this one hits. This one hits big. 20 years from now, the only people who will remember that you worked late are your children. Get in a friend group where your goal is their norm. Don't fake it until you make it. Act like you belong because you do. Someone with their health has 1,000 dreams. Someone without their health only has 1. Keep your personal business personal. Let people assume incorrectly. You may not get your meaning where you get your money. Surround yourself with people who make the impossible seem like a Tuesday morning. If someone spent their time imitating you, who would they become? Consistently good beats occasionally great. The best productivity app on your phone is called Airplane Mode. Use it. What is the action I can do today that my future self will be really grateful for? You get in life what you have the courage to ask for. All success is a series of 5-minute tasks. I don't want to get to heaven well rested. I want to get to heaven exhausted. That was Tebow as well. Treat your body like a house that you must live in for the next 70 years. Whenever you hug someone, make sure they are the one to let go first. It will cost you more to replace top talent than it would if you have cost you to have kept them. And the last one is that 100% of employees are people. 100% of customers are people. 100% of investors are people. If you don't understand people, you don't understand business. And so those are the best of the podcasts, books, audio books, lectures, etc., that I listened to, read, consumed in one way or the other over the year 2023. Hopefully that was a fun list for you. Let me know in the comments if there was something especially hard-hitting for you in that list. I know I pointed a few of the ones out for me that were that way, but each and every one of these hit me in some way or the other. Share this one with somebody that you feel close to, something that you guys can bond over, something that you can banter over. Or maybe you just think that this list is off topic and I don't know what I'm talking about. That's fine too. Just share it because people need to hear it. As always, if you're looking to transact real estate in the Indianapolis market or the greater Indiana market, I can help you do that. Get in touch with me either in the comments or at indiedwell.com. And as always, you can subscribe to the channel to be the first to know about new content in long form each and every Wednesday and some fun short-term content each and every day other than that. Almost 1,650 people are doing that. Really cool to announce that in real time because that number is growing and hopefully I can continue to help people in this way. That's going to bring this episode of the show to a close and the year 2023 to a close. Really thankful to say that. Been at it a while. It's still fun. Still glad to do it. This is Anthony Drew Gary, host of The How To Show, signing off.